Hello and welcome to this video that I actually have been waiting to do for a long time. Since Tekking101 released his own Isekai Adventure, I think like 2 or 3 years ago already. This has been on my mind since then, but I never really had the ability to do a video, but now I'm kind of doing YouTube myself. So today we're going to look at Pyro's One Piece Adventure. And just to clear a few things up. Yes, I myself, Pyro, am basically a fire elemental and have superpowers. Like, if I had to compare anything, I have the Meronomy even without eating it, because I'm a fire elemental. I can use fire, I am fire, all these different shenanigans. But today we're just going to look how I would go in this world if I would just go in the normal flesh body of a human. So, for this I have prepared some dice for you. Here is a D100. Because the first thing we need to do is to decide in what part of the world we are in. And that is actually not D100, we need the D6 for that. So let me change that to the D6. Which one was it? This is the D6. So, we need the D6. And as you can see, it's all numbered through it, where we go to the north, south, east, west, paradise, or the new world. And for this, we're going to establish an adventure for myself, Pyro, in the One Piece universe, and if I'm going to survive that. So please be tuned for that. Let's continue with the first roll. So let's see. The first roll of this thing is... it's a 5. A 5 means we will be sent into paradise. That means we are already in the Grand Line. That's a bit menacing. Just think about it. Like, if I go in a normal body of a human, like I'm kind of like I'm fit and well trained in different parts. I can run for quite some time. I'm fast, but like compared to One Piece characters, I'm still just a civilian. Maybe a bit better than a normal civilian in the One Piece universe. But it's just too unsure to say how the Grand Line would handle me. So let's see where we end up in the Grand Line. For that we need a D20. These are just some examples of islands on the Grand Line, but well, we will now use these, and if Tekking decided to maybe do one of these videos in the future again, he would probably add on to the Paradise scheme and the New World scheme, because there are so many more characters. But for now, or characters, islands, everybody we know of. But for now, let's roll the D20 and see what island and paradise we end on. And the answer is... boom, island number 9, aka Water 7. That's actually pretty cool. Now it depends on which, like, when are we going to land there? Is this before the Straw Hats set out of their adventure, after they have been on Water 7, or like after the time skip? When exactly is it? If I had to say something, I kind of want to go to these islands before the adventure of the Straw Hats, because then I have more freedom of doing what I actually think would be really fun. So in Water 7 we still have the Frankie family, CP9 is still undercover there. Let's just say I'm like, even if it's only, let's say it's half a year prior to when the Straw Hats come, so like 6 months earlier, I suddenly arrive in Water 7, and we will see what we will do over there. Because from now on there are 3 more points that we can do and see what our adventure will actually entail. For that, now we need the D100, because this is actually not the most important part. I decided myself that the D100 is for our starting equipment, or the starting item that we get additionally to something else. Because whatever I currently or you currently have on yourself is also on you when we go into the universe of One Piece, or I go there. And now I have my handy on myself, my smartphone, which means I have my smartphone with me when I go to the One Piece universe. Which means, yes, it's not like smartphone isekai. With the smartphone I can't go in the internet, I can't go like call people because I don't have any connection, and my smartphone is not a Denden Mushi that could connect with all the other Denden Mushi. But what I can do is listen to my downloaded music, look at the downloaded pictures on my phone, or use my note function and all these different things that are useful on this iPhone. Not the iPhone, I don't have an iPhone, I have a Samsung phone, but that's not important. But I have a phone with me, which is quite useful. But for now we need to see what item we actually take from this list with us. So from 1 to 100, which item will it be? 90. That's in the last part, because there are actually 4 parts of the list. Let me show them for you really quick. We have the first one, the second one, the third one, and then finally the last one. And there is the answer of what item we will get for this adventure. And the answer is, it's 90. A breath dial. A breath dial is useful. Like, you can combine it. A breath dial, if I had to look, I know it's like producing air and all these different things, but how exactly does this work? And it's not a storm dial or something, it's just breath. There are many different dials, and the breath dial is in this category. The breath dial also is used to release air currents, and it's used to propel your ship. So I can make my small little ship like sail. If I wanted to leave Water 7, I could use this dial to leave it on a ship or something, or I can use it on my... I can make skaters. Yo, I can make rollerblades and just skate around. So these are nice. So, I can... Breath dials apparently can also handle aromas, and I can also store gases in them. So I can use them for explosions. I can use them for explosive attacks. That's quite useful. So I have a breath dial. You know, I'm not no encyclopedia or glossary for One Piece myself. Like, it's Tekking is the encyclopedia, and I'm slowly stepping up and learning more and more, or actually remembering more of One Piece. And this breath dial could potentially be very good depending on what other parts we get. Because now we go over to our objective table. The objective table is a D8. So we need to go over to the D8, which is actually over here. The D8. And there are 8 different objectives that we could potentially get. And, well, this is going to decide a lot for us, and how likely the chance for us is to survive in this universe, and how hard our adventure is going to be. So the answer will be 8, which is become a marine captain or higher rank. Okay, this is actually really cool, because I thought of how to best survive in the One Piece universe, and I always thought that being a marine is that has the highest chance of surviving. I don't remember if Water 7 had like a marine base, but if not, I could use one of the sea train or something to go to one of the different islands that's connected to the marines. I could even go to Eni's lobby themselves, basically, to connect them with the world government and go over to the marines then. And because I'm with the marines, I will go through practice and all these other things, like training with my body to make it more muscular on strength. Like, I can learn haki from people if I like become friends with a higher up in the marines. I feel like I could vibe with Kuzan. I'm a fire elemental and he's an ice user, so that's like a contradictionary, but it could work together. And I really, before I spin this whole idea to make this video a bit longer for you to actually enjoy the adventure, I'm actually going to roll on the risk table as well, because the risk table is another 1d8 to see what additional bonus you could get to survive or use your everything in the One Piece world. And this could be very beneficial to you or very detrimental. So I just think using the risk dice here is a lot more fun, so we're going right to it, and let's roll this dice. The answer is 5. That's negative. You have a 100 million bounty. Ooh, okay, change of plans. Let's get rid of the dice for now. Let me scroll this down. Let's do it like this. We want to become a marine captain, but we have a 100 million berry bounty. How is this even supposed to work? Will they accept people with bounties? I could become a warlord of the sea, but that wouldn't be like a captain, that would be a warlord. So I need to do something else. I have the breath dial, so let me mark this down for you guys to remember that I have the breath dial when I go over into spinning this entire story. So we go over here, zoom this up, and go to the breath dial. And then last but not least, well, we all remember that I'm Water 7, so let's just go on the Grand Line and zoom this up as well, because currently we are on Water 7, which is Ooh, with the CP9 being there, it should be dangerous. Like, what if they just decide to get me in like their free time because they're bored or something? They just decide to capture me because I have bounty. Okay. If I just appear to this world, the people don't know me, obviously, because that's how it works. You just appear in the world. I still have my One Piece knowledge, so that all is there for me. I have a 100 million bounty. So technically, I could just dye my hair and change my eye color or something, all these different shenanigans, and go there. Or I could just give myself up to the Marines and say like, I want to start over. Would they work that? It depends. No. With a 100 million bounty, I'm a rookie. I'm a super rookie. People with over 100 million berry are counted into the supernova if they reach. Or is do I forget that? Supernova. Let me go against the article of the supernova. Supernova One Piece. The supernova are people with a bounty higher than 100 million before they go into the new world. So I have 100 million. I would be a supernova. I would be a super rookie. And I want to become a marine captain. How the fuck? I just arrived in this world and I have this bounty. This is bad. Like, okay, I'm not that powerful. I said breath dial. Can I work this out? I need to go somewhere. What if I first make a connection? If I go to Bruno in Water 7 and talk with him, do they know that I have bounty? Because my bounty poster would be really new and they wouldn't have it yet, I guess. So I might form a friendship there and they would help me to get pardoned. Like, the biggest adventure here is actually getting pardoned and don't have this bounty anymore. But it does make sense. It does make sense. Because if I go to the Marines and just go to them and say, yo, I want to become a Marine, but there seems to be a mistake. I've seen my bounty with 100 million berry, but I just arrived here. I never really left my home. What's going on here? And then they make a background check and they don't find anything about me, which might be suspicious in itself. So they might be like putting me under more observation or something. But I feel like if I have the right Marine, they wouldn't necessarily just murder me or imprison me, because there can be mistakes, right? If I have a Marine that's actually doing the right justice thing, if I get in contact with Smoker, okay, I'm in Water 7. Smoker right now is in Loketown. Loketown is back in the East Blue, so I would need to get to the East Blue. From Water 7, the closest potential I can get is actually Sabaody or Marineford itself. So the actual mission for me is to get from Water 7 to Marineford to the base of the Marines while I have a 100 million bounty, and then I go over to the Marines and say I want to become a Marine. Then I have my breath dial to work this out. So I don't know how much I could sell my breath dial for. This could be useful. Maybe I can use the breath dial and give it to the Marines and they have new technology then. Maybe Vegapunk doesn't have any breath dials and that's why Vegapunk would help me to get pardoned and lose my bounty. Like, okay, having a breath dial and being in Water 7 is nice and all, but the risk thing that I got and my objective are literally contradictory. How the hell is this supposed to work? I would need to go do a lot of different things. So what would you do? How would you go about these different scenarios here? So I'm probably going to make other videos of this adventure because this is like fun for me to just spin around and make improvisation adventures. Like the next time is actually me and my fire elemental body, where I don't have the Mera Mera no Mi eaten, but I have all the abilities the Mera Mera no Mi has, and even better because I'm the primal fire elemental. Ace isn't dead. Ace was dead. Well, not at this point. Where's Ace at this point? Well, he's chasing Blackbeard already. No, he's not chasing. He might be chasing I think he's chasing Blackbeard already. Why would someone in Water 7? I could connect with the. I don't need to go to Marineford itself or go with CP9 angle, but this is a bit hard. The biggest option is for me to do this as fast as possible. Because the longer my bounty exists, the harder it will be for the Marines to accept that this kind of is a mistake or something. Because there are special Marines that handle the bounties and they probably know which bounties they just issued. And if they see my bounty poster, they would be like, how the hell did this come here? Why is this here? What is happening here? And so they would know that this is weird, and maybe it's just a misprint or somebody put it there and they are actually not in charge of putting bounties up. So while I would be under investigation and they would maybe put me into prison for a few days just to make sure that I'm not doing anything bad, I feel like going to the Marines is the best option. And once I'm there, I will just continue to train with them to be powerful, maybe be a swordsman or just a fist fighter, because I would probably prefer to be a fist fighter. And then I would no, I should be a gunsman. I should be a gunman or a sniper and combine it with my breath dial, make like explosive shots and everything. Like a combination of I would train in fist fighting and in shooting so that I could use the breath dial for anything. But if you think about it, if you like connect the breath dial with your fist and then activate it in the right time, it would increase the acceleration of your fist, which would increase the force of the punch. So I could make my punches faster if I make the breath dial connected to my body. I could run faster, I could jump higher, I could all these different things with the breath dial. So I could be called the breath captain. I don't know, but I feel like it's possible. How high was the rank Marine again? Let me Google the Marine ranks while we're at it. Marine ranks One Piece. Not the real Marine ranks in One Piece. Marine ranks in One Piece. The captain rank is actually quite high, because I would start out as a choir boy probably because they are suspicious of me. And after I become a choir boy, that would mean I become a seaman recruit, seaman apprentice, seaman first class, petty officer, chief petty officer, master chief petty officer, warrant officer, ensign, lieutenant junior grade, lieutenant, lieutenant commander, commander, and then captain. Captain is so high. Okay, this is going to take a bit longer. It is possible I will be able to do that with time, because if you practice long enough in the One Piece world, everything is possible. Usopp trained hard enough, and he's now like kind of strong enough to hold himself in against stronger pirates in the New World. Like, he fought against Page 1, Ulti, and these people and survived. So I would be able to do that. I would need to be very careful, and maybe I would be the captain that actually wears armor. Like, I would get myself some armor made, for sure. I don't know why none of the One Piece characters have armor, but I for sure would have armor made for myself to be a bit safer. And then I would just train to, the armor would already be training because it's heavy, so I can walk better with the armor and all these different things. So a lot is going on there. And with my knowledge of the One Piece world, okay, I don't want to say I want to black myself into the Marines, because if I blackmail myself into the Marines, that could potentially also lead to my bounty getting increased and them just capturing me. Because with all of the knowledge I have of the One Piece world, my bounty, just because of the knowledge, would be tremendous. But just thinking, I could tell them where I can't tell them where Robin is, but Robin is safe because she's under Crocodile, and Crocodile is a Shichibukai, a warlord, and thus she's also pardoned right now. But I could tell them that King of the Beast Pirates is a Lunarian, which telling people that others is a Lunarian is already giving you a lot of money, and if I give them that sort of information, that's going to be very important. I could also tell them different informations about Luffy having the Nika fruit. I could fuck the One Piece universe over. If I tell them that Luffy has the Nika fruit, if I tell them that Blackbeard plans to kill Whitebeard, if I tell them that Ace is the son of Goldie Roger, if that Rayleigh, Crocus, and all these people are still out there and everything what's going on, I feel like they could potentially give me a position already quite high. So I feel like with all the information I have, I would immediately start out in a commanding position. I would be, this might be too high, but I feel like they would put me in the position of an ensign or maybe a lieutenant already, just because they feel like I have that much knowledge, I have this much information, so I might have a big information network that can help me in gathering all these different news and all these different things. Maybe I'm working together with Big News Morgans, maybe that's my alibi, or I can actually start working together with Big News Morgan to tell him first some news that he can research, then he will find out that my news are right, and then he will continue to tell me new information which I might confirm or deny what actually is going to happen in the future. I might be like Madame Charlie, like the wisdom the future fortune-telling lady from Fishman Island. I might just be a fortune teller and get my position in the Marines like that. So there is a lot going on there, and I feel like it's possible to get this, but it's going to be a bit of work, especially because I first need to get rid of my bounty. But I feel like that's a good roundup to say, you heard what I would want to do. I will go to the Marines, tell them everything that I know, not everything, step by step, to give them information to make them like earn my trust, and then get rid of my bounty, get in the Marine position, and slowly work myself up to the Marine captain, get an armor, because if you just turn your body into armament haki, that's already quite tough. But if you use armament haki on armor that is harder than your normal body, it would just make the armor even harder, basically, which means armor is good. So yeah, before I go on another tangent, I want to thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this One Piece adventure, because this is not going to be the last one I will do, and I hope you, well, why don't you consider clicking on the like button or the subscribe button, because there are more and more people that actually clicked on the button, because it's not actually that hard to find. It's straight down there, and it's probably red for the most of you, so why don't you click on that to support a needy fire elemental that wants to grow bigger, to share more of his crazy adventures and ideas that he actually is preparing right now, because next week I actually want to start the first episode of my Dungeons and Stories first series, which doesn't have a title yet. So if you watch the 0th episode or are going to watch that afterwards after this video, please tell me a title that you would want to call the series. So until then, I hope all of you take care of yourselves, and we will see each other in the next time. Until then, bye!